So hi guys, 1983 movie has come out and like there are a lot of expectations and people are wondering what is going to be shown in the movie. So I just did a recap on the 1983 World Cup from an Indian perspective just to I just went through all the scorecards and just tried to build a story of my own and see the cricketing part of it more because the movie may show more of the characters and the drama, but we should also know what was the World Cup cricket wise from an Indian perspective. So I'll just be sharing the screen for this. Yeah, so this was the 1983 World Cup, and there were 8 teams competing, two groups of 4 teams, and we will be focusing more on the Group B because India were in the Group B, and they were actually pitted against West Indies and Australia, which were like very good sides in those days. And there was a double round robin format, each team to play 6 matches in total, each team to play the other team twice. So this was the format, and these are some of the heroes of 1983 World Cup. I did not cover all of them, but yeah, Balwinder Sandhu is missing in this pick. He played. Oh, he's there, in fact, in the bottom right corner. So you can see Balwinder Sandhu teaching a Punjabi guy to hold the ball. I mean, he was one of the key fast bowlers who bowled really economical spells. But I want to start with the top left corner, which is Yashpal Sharma. Yashpal Sharma recently passed away in 2021 July. He was a batsman born in Ludhiana and he was the second highest scorer from India inside, apart from Kapil Dev, who scored 175 in one innings itself. We have Roger Binney, who took 18 wickets, was the highest wicket taker and made his name among all the fast bowlers. He was the one of the first Anglo-Indians to play for India. And we have Kapil Dev, Mohinder Amarnath, who was man of Mohinder Amarnath was obviously the vice captain of the team and the man of the match in semi-finals and finals. Ravi Shastri did not play the knockouts, but he also played a lot of matches. Sunil Gavaskar was the opener, along with Krishnamachari Srikanth, who was the highest scorer in the finals. So we'll get to all these characters. Sandeep Patil had a role to play. Saeed Kirmani, the wicketkeeper. Madan Lal had a man of the match performance in this World Cup. So let us go. First, let's start with the coverage. I mean, this was the first televised World Cup in India in color, and there was a huge radio coverage. Kapil's 175 was not televised, which happened. The match happened in Tunbridge Wells, and there is no recorded telecast, recorded footage of this innings because there was a BBC strike on the very day. BCCI actually paid Doordarshan. It is the other way now. Actually, BCCI gets paid by the broadcaster, but in that case, BCCI paid Doordarshan to broadcast. And England also, for the first time, this was the third World Cup. 1975 and 1979 were mostly held at the test venues, but 1983 was the first World Cup which covered a lot of non-test venues like Tunbridge Wells, Kempsworth, Swansea. So these were the new rules and initiatives. I mean, 60 overs matches were the trend at that time, and there was a swinging Duke red ball, which led to low run rate, low scoring matches. And in this World Cup, particularly, umpires were asked to crack down on bouncers and wides. So there were a lot of extras bowled, a lot of wides which would normally not have been wides were considered wides. There was a 30-yard circle, which was a new innovation in this World Cup, and 4 fielders were mandatorily asked to stand inside this circle, which led to more shots in the air uh, and more aggressive batting compared to the previous World Cups. So coming to the Indian squad, this was the 11 in the batting order, which was Krish Shrikant, Sunil Gavaskar, Mohinder Amarnath, who was also the sixth bowler, Yashpal Sharma, the number 4, uh, Mohinder and Yashpal and Sandeep, these were India's middle order, with Kapil Dev coming at number 6. Kirti Azad or Ravi Shastri, whoever played, was the number 7. Kirti Azad was also right arm off spinner, and Kirti Azad played in the knockouts and also one match before the knockouts, which was also a must-win game. So he was the son of ex-chief minister of Bihar, and he averaged 47 in the Ranji playing for Delhi. Uh, and Said Kirmani was a pure wicket keeper, not a batsman wicket keeper. And we had the pace bowling lineup of Roger Binny, Madan Lal, Balwinder Sandhu, and Kapil Dev, the 4 fast bowlers, and the Kirti Azad as the off spinner, and of course Mohinder Amarnath as the 6th bowler. Whenever Ravi Shastri played, he also played in place of Kirti Azad. Dilip Vengsarkar, Sunil Walson were in the reserves. So we'll talk about this. So this was Group B, in which India played. There was a big upset at the very start of Group B, which was Zimbabwe beating Australia. Some prominent performances from Duncan Fletcher, who later went on to coach England and India, and Kevin Curran, who's the father of Tom and Sam Curran. India upset West Indies, which was a huge win. And these two results actually impacted in a huge manner in India's qualification for the knockouts, because Australia lost a crucial game. Australia were one of the favorites to qualify from this group, and they lost to Zimbabwe, and then India beating West Indies. These two results really went in favor of India. But then India went on to suffer back-to-back losses to Australia and West Indies. And that led to a pre-quarterfinal and a quarterfinal situation in the league stage itself. Like, India had to beat Australia and Zimbabwe to go through to the semifinals. So these are the fixtures for India. India versus West Indies, the first match. India, that was a huge upset. Yashpal Sharma playing a big knock of 89 not out in those conditions against those bowlers. India Zimbabwe was an easy win for India, with Madan Lal taking 27 for 3, and Roger Binny also bowled really well. Then India lost to Australia and lost to West Indies, with Trevor Chappell scoring century, Viv Richards scoring century. India were 17 for 5 when Kapil Dev scored a 175. There is no footage for this match. Obviously, one of the legendary innings in Indian cricket history. And India and Australia, that was the virtual quarterfinal, which Roger Binny bowled out Australia for 129. And it was a great performance from the Anglo-Indian. And so let us now discuss in depth what were some of the key strengths and strategy from Indian perspective. Initially, Ravi Shastri was playing all the matches. He was bringing his all-rounder skills to the fore. There was, I think, trying to read from the scorecards, Kapil had slight doubts on Sunil Gavaskar, because he was not an out-and-out ODI batsman. He was slow at the start, and he was not complimenting, giving the strike to Shrikant. And India were suffering with the run rate. So he always felt that whether he should open with Sunil Gavaskar. And after the first 2 wins, actually, Sunil Gavaskar was dropped, and Ravi Shastri was made to open the batting. So that was surprising. And Vengsarkar was added to strengthen the middle order. So Kirmani was not a full-time batsman. That was another reason they wanted another middle order player. So Vengsarkar was brought into the middle order. Kapil felt that batting was weak overall, and Dilip Vengsarkar came, but unfortunately, in the loss to West Indies, he copped a blow from Michael Holding, and he was injured and out of the tournament. So Kapil dropped Sunny, and Shastri had to open against Australia. So he went back to Sunil Gavaskar after 2 consecutive losses for the must-win match against Zimbabwe, where India had another unfortunate collapse. And that was the last match that Shastri played. After that, Kirti Azad replaced Shastri. I think that may have been taken because the decision may have been taken because Kirti Azad was averaging 47 in Ranji cricket. He was a batting all-rounder compared to Ravi Shastri being a bowling all-rounder. Also, the presence of Alan Border in the Australian side was a big batsman in those days. So in the knockout as well, David Gower, who was the highest scorer of the 1983, was a left-hander. So Kirti Azad, maybe at that time also they were seeing these matchups like we see in the T20 era. Knockouts, India had played virtual quarterfinals against Zimbabwe and Australia, and Pakistan in the other group, which is the Group A, had sneaked past NZ New Zealand with a difference of 0.08. So England and Pakistan qualified from the other group. So the semifinals were India, England uh, in Old Trafford, and Pakistan, West Indies in Oval. So what were some of the selection or strategy conundrum for India? So Mohinder Amarnath had not bowled much in the tournament. He had bowled well only against Zimbabwe. So whether he should continue to bowl in the knockouts was a big question as a sixth bowler. And to persist with Sunny or Ravi as opener, both had not performed in this tournament, and to persist with Kirti Azad as an all-rounder. And Sandeep Patil played a big role actually in a lot of the knockout matches, especially against Australia. He scored a quick fire 35. Sandeep Patil was giving the boost. I mean, he and Kapil Dev were regularly scoring at the strike rate of 100 to 120 throughout the tournament. In the semifinals, India lost the toss and they had to bowl first on a flat looking pitch, and openers got a very good start. They were already 71 something when Roger Binney broke the opening stand and he took both the openers. Jan Botham, who was the talisman for England team, got an unfortunate ball which kept low, and Kirti Azad picked the prized wicket. Yashpal Sharma made a run out of Alan Lamb, who was one of the aggressive batsmen in those times. And chasing 213, actually India were just 115, 45 overs. They started really slow, but Sandeep Patil accelerated in last few overs, and Yashpal scored 61, which was the highest score in the semi-final. And Mohinder was given the man of the match for his all-round contribution. So he scored 46 and also picked 2 wickets. So this way, India beat the home team, England. So India again upset a favorite team. In the final, again India loses the toss. So we lost the toss in semis as well as the finals, and we had to bat first on a green Lord's pitch. And Sunny goes early, and Shrikant was very brave. I mean, to hook and cut bowlers like Holding, Andy Roberts was very brave. Malcolm Marshall, Mohinder, Sandeep, and lower order, they batted quite aggressively. Mohinder again scored 26. Sandeep Patil scored 29 or something in just 27 balls. And there was a crucial partnership between Madan Lal and Kirmani of 32 runs. So when India were 130 for 7. So India went to post 183, as we all know. In 1983, India posted 183 in the finals, and West Indies were 54-1 in 11 overs with Viv going really well. So Kapil took a running catch to dismiss Viv Richards of Madan Lal. That is a iconic moment in Indian cricket history. And of course, with Roger Binney getting Clive Lloyd, the match was in Indian hands, but there was a good partnership between Jeffrey Dujon and Malcolm Marshall from 76 to 6 for 6 to 119 for 7. And it was Mohinder Amarnath who wrapped up the tail and picked the crucial wicket of Dujon. Actually, it was quite an unlucky dismissal. Dujon just tried to leave the ball, but the bat came into the way somehow, and he inside edged, chopped onto his own stumps. So that was the final, and this was the winning moment for India and a historic. So I don't know how much of this will be shared in the movie, but I'm excited to watch this movie. Hope all of you also enjoy this movie and relive the iconic first World Cup win, which started a cricket revolution in India. So have a good time, guys, and hope you enjoy the movie.